After the latest in a string of deadly mass shootings in the US, police in Florida say a gun attack that killed 3 black people was racially motivated.
Russia's investigative committee confirms the death of Wagner mercenary founder and leader Yevgeni Pregosian, who was killed in a plane crash last week. Russian and Ukrainian air defenses are on high alert after trading fire in aerial attacks, while the war produces limited results for both sides.
Police in Florida say a gun attack on Saturday that killed 3 black people was racially motivated. A masked white gunman opened fire in a general store in a predominantly African-American neighborhood of Jacksonville before killing himself. Officials said he used a gun painted with a swastika. It was the latest in a series of deadly mass shootings to hit the US. Earlier in Boston, 7 people were injured in a shooting during a festival celebrating Caribbean culture. 2 suspects were arrested and multiple weapons were recovered during subsequent searches. Police don't believe the incident was connected to the carnival itself, but was a result of a quarrel between 2 groups. And authorities in Oklahoma believe a similar dispute was behind a shooting at a stadium in Choctaw City. It happened during a high school football game, spreading panic throughout the crowd. A 16-year-old teenager died from wounds and another man was taken to hospital. There were no immediate arrests, but police said they were looking for a person of interest.
3 US Marines have been killed and 20 injured after a military helicopter crashed during a multinational training exercise off the coast of Darwin, Australia.
Our focus as a government and as the Department of Defence is very much on incident response and on making sure that every support and assistance is given at this difficult time.
The MV-22B Osprey came down on its way to the Tiwi Islands. 5 of the 23 troops on board are in serious condition. This is the moment a liquefied gas station outside of Bucharest went up in flames. At least 2 people were killed and 57 injured following Saturday's explosions. Many of the wounded were firefighters who were caught in a second blast when they arrived at the scene. Authorities say there were 6 fuel tanks on site. At least 2 were full. The facility was ordered to shut down before the blast, but was reportedly still in operation. Officials fear more explosions could follow.
Wagner mercenary group founder Yevgeni Pregosian has been confirmed dead by Russia's investigative committee following a plane crash last Wednesday. In a statement released on Sunday, the body said they had identified all the recovered remains but did not offer any details into the cause of the accident.
В рамках уголовного дела о крушении самолета в Тверской области завершено проведение молекулярно-генетических экспертиз. По их результатам личности всех 10 погибших установлены. Они соответствуют списку, заявленному в полетном листе.
Prigozhin died 2 months after orchestrating a day-long mutiny against Moscow's military command, a move slammed by President Vladimir Putin as treason. The Kremlin cut a deal to end the short-lived uprising, allowing the 62-year-old to walk away without sanctions. The crash has raised suspicions of an assassination orchestrated by Putin, an accusation Moscow denies. Russian and Ukrainian air defense systems are on high alert after both sides traded fire in aerial attacks. Moscow's forces reportedly targeted central and northern regions of Ukraine with cruise missiles. Kyiv says 4 of them were successfully intercepted by its air force. On the Russian side, the defense ministry says it took down 2 drones over the Bryansk and Kursk regions bordering Ukraine. It claims the drones were launched by Kyiv. Meanwhile, the Kremlin has published footage of what it says are Russian tankers overseeing motorized rifle units moving towards Kupiansk. This comes after British military intelligence said Russian forces might be focusing their offensive around Kupiansk and Liman to take pressure off troops in the Bakhmut and Zaporizhia regions, where Ukrainian forces have reportedly made gradual gains. So far, Kyiv's large-scale counter-offensive has resulted in limited advances since its launch in early June.